What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Collider Interview Studio at TIFF 2025 at the Campari Cinema Center. I am very excited to be sitting with the team behind Steal Away. First off, I will say huge congratulations on your movie. Something else, never seen anything like it. We were talking before, love me a good, thoughtful, genre-bending story, and that's what you got here.
Thank you, Perri. Yeah, thank you for having us. Very, very different from Brother.
Very, very different. You know, I like seeing that range, and you've got endless range as a filmmaker. Clearly, I know what Steal Away is. I'll give this duty to one of you. Would you mind catching our audience up and giving a brief synopsis of the film?
Tamara, what are you?
Sunday morning. It is a story about a young African traveler who comes to the home of Florence and Fanny. And it's a lot about the sort of intimate and domestic relationship and the evolving relationship between these two young women before one of them has to run away, steal away.
Job well done, bright and early on a Sunday morning. I appreciate that. So I know that your script was based on a nonfiction book, and I am curious, when you look at that book, what space do the two of you find in it that made you think we have something to add to this idea and something to bring out in these themes that are unique to us as filmmakers?
Well, the book is takes place in Kentucky. I believe it was like 1830, and it's this very sort of fraught history about America's past, and as a filmmaker, I'm fascinated by that past, but I also wanted to find a new way to tell that story. And I'm a huge horror fan. I'm a huge psychological thriller fan. I'm a huge Hitchcock fan, and I wanted to find a language and a genre to sort of bring that into it. And we chose a kind of fairy tale Afrofuturist approach with these two young women at the center, and just to be able to give the audience access to this history, of the story.
I have many follow-up questions, but there's a top priority one I have to ask. What's your favorite scary movie? My
favorite scary movie right now, maybe it's because it's almost October and I'm thinking about Halloween. It's like Halloween by John Carpenter is like, top of the food chain for me.
This is a classic. Oh, wait, I have to open that up to the group. Let's go around quickly. I'm going to put you on the spot. You know how I feel about Trick or Treat, so I'll happily throw that one out there.
I mean, I'm terrified by so many movies, actually. I cannot watch a horror film by myself. Oh, my God. What's like...
Babadook, you love
yeah. Babadook's a great one.
A+ choice right there. What do we got?
I love scary movies. I feel like I've actually been talking about this movie like all week, but Midsummer.
I just watched The Night of the Hunter, which is an old movie, and that's one of your favorites too.
Yes.
And was it's like, it's not horror in the way that we might consider horror now because it's from the 1940s, but I was really scared, and it's shot beautifully.
Not what I was expecting. I love it.
I also love horror, but I'm gonna go with my introduction to horror movies, which was Nightmare on Elm Street when I was way too young, but it traumatized me in the best way. And Freddy Krueger still, you can't go wrong. Yeah.
I mean, as it should be. I feel like some people would take issue with me saying that, but I think as it should be. You should be traumatized by Freddy Krueger at a very young age. Yeah. Clement, I want to come back your way. There's something very specific in our press notes that I wanted to follow up on. So this isn't your first time directing a female-led film, but there's a particular quote you said, apologies, I am going to read it, figuring out how to navigate this world and to tell a story of young women in an authentic, emotional way was a bit nerve-wracking, so I relied on my female collaborators. Can you give me a few examples of doing that, a few examples of things we see in the movie where you knew you needed to defer to the team around you?
Well, I think first of all, it started with my collaborator, Tamara Faith Berger, who just is my writing partner, but she's also my wife. And just wanted to make sure that she's a novelist and wanted to make sure that her voice and her perspective was a part of that. And of course, once we had the script, I wanted two young actresses and three young actresses actually to help us make sure that these characters were on point. But in terms of the crew itself, I seeked out a young woman from Sweden. I saw a couple of films she shot, a wonderful DP named Sophie Benquist, because I really wanted the film to feel and have that energy. And sometimes as a man, when you're looking at a scene, you might not see certain things. Like, why am I pointing the camera this way? And I wanted to make sure that I had someone that would check me, on set to say, like, why do you want to shoot that? And really sort of help me to navigate this space. And, we also had, Elisa Sauve, who's my designer, and she was key to making sure the spaces that these women occupied felt right and felt authentic. So, across the board, I wanted to, as you can see today, I wanted to surround myself with women.
Surround yourself with the best. I will say, beautifully photographed film. Just to follow up on another point you made, I was just so impressed by how detailed all of the design work was. And I always love highlighting the small details that might not be front and center in a frame, but are just so key to filling out a world. So can maybe each of you name a teeny tiny detail that audiences might not notice, but they could feel making this movie as whole as it is?
Yeah, I for me, it was the worlds that were created in every space was just so phenomenal, and the attention to detail. Like, for instance, in Florence's bedroom, you're immediately transported, and all of the textures and the colors and all of the different set pieces. And you would open a drawer and everything would be there. And that it just, as an actor, I think that really helps you sort of get into the moment and get into character and feel that you're really in the space.
Was there anything surprising in the drawer?
There was a lot of tinctures. Yeah.
There were in Fanny's bedroom. There are some amazing drawings of. Do you remember those? Somebody specific did those drawings. I'm trying to remember who it was.
It was Elisa Sauve's daughter who did the drawing,
Yes.
our designer. Yes.
Just incredible, these incredible fine line sort of pen drawings of people and characters, and it was kind of quite gothic, and walking into the bedroom and seeing those just gave me extra clues about who this character is and what she might be interested in, what she does with her free time.
Yeah, there was actually, it's hard to pinpoint because how the movie feels on screen is so similar to the environment that we were in. We were really doing everything in this castle that had so much history and so much lineage behind it. There were these pictures of in the what would you call that? The fireplace living room. Of all of the people who have owned the property. And I found that quite haunting, especially as playing a young refugee who's coming to stay on this land, and with the racial inequity themes in the movie. It really just gave this eerie kind of feeling to the land that we were on and the history behind it.
Yeah. You know what? For me, I love a good prop in a movie, and because they're really kind of, if it's done right, it's quite emotional. Like the tap at the end of Inception, for instance, spinning and, will it fall or not fall? Or of course, the Maltese Falcon. But for this film, there's this little African futurist figurine that Rufus gives to Cecile. And I wanted to make sure we track it all the way through the movie so that, when it comes back up at a key moment, the audience remembers that moment. And so, I think, in films, you could imbue objects and props with meaning and symbolism that is quite, one of the great ones, of course, is Raiders of the Lost Ark. Is probably the ultimate movie prop ever.
I think, to echo what they said, the house and some of the the liminal spaces in the house, especially that closet on the way from between Fanny's room and Cecile's room. It's not shot a lot, but it's just that walkway and the white hanging dresses and lingerie and stuff. It's good.
Zeroing in on your characters now, I always love asking actors for their aha moment when finding a character, but in particular in a situation like this where like they are so complex and their situation is so complex. So can you each tell me the moment either in prep or on set when you did something or thought of something and you knew to your core, I have just found who they are now?
It's a really great question. Part of me wants to say that I think that there's never an aha moment, or there are lots of them. You know, it's the process that's the work, is the process. There was kind of a special moment for me though, like in preparing or sort of coming, I think my first Zoom with the costume department, I was asking about, you know, colors and dresses, and I had always in my head Fanny was like this pale yellow, and I don't know if that was referenced in the script or it was just something I was thinking of, I just saw this like pale yellow color for her. And they said, this is our favorite dress for the opening scene. It's this pale yellow floral dress with a lace collar. And I thought, oh, wow, that's so strange. And so I think it was a moment that actually indicated less my holding on the character and more a trust and confidence that every part of the team was on the same page about what movie we were about to make.
Great example.
Yeah, that's such a good question too, because I feel like when people ask me about like process and like what that is for me, I'm always like, yeah, it's an ongoing thing, and often I don't feel like it's complete until I have an aha moment, and I'm like, oh wow, once I can make decisions that are not my own about something, then I know that I feel the character behind me. And I feel like for me, Rufus was such a core piece of that, because I feel like Cecile is someone who finds safety and security in love, and like is searching for that. And so I think that when we were doing, there was this scene that I had actually auditioned with, of us in the bed together, and you asking me how I feel about Rufus without giving away too much, but talking about him and him being like fresh water and still being so thirsty. I remember like having a moment when we were filming that of like really hearing those words and being like, yeah, that is who she is, like someone who is searching for safety and love and still being so thirsty. I feel like she's got this lust and thirst for life.
Beautiful description there.
Wow, yeah. There, like you said, there's so many moments where, but I would say honestly was probably the aha moment for me was meeting you for the first time. No, truly, because Florence to me, and also Clement, I remember, using the word like just, use so much love, and like you just love her so much, and let's see that love. So when I first met Angourie, it was just like instantly I was like, okay, here we go. Like she's so vibrant, and you are so just, you walk into a room and there's like a beam of sun, and I was just like, okay, this is gonna work. I can spread love to her and be her mama.
I love these answers so much. So your relationship is key in the film. I feel like this movie kind of lives or dies based on your vibe together. So I did want to ask the two of you about working together as scene partners here. Can you each tell me something you appreciated about the other as a scene partner, maybe even something they did that helped you find something in your character that you wouldn't have been able to access without them?
I love Mallori's focus and ability to stay present. I think that inspired me so much as an actor, really pushed me to stay in the moment. I think because I'm quite I can get in my head a lot. And I think also Fanny as a character, that's kind of her journey as well. Like she's very in her head about who she is, her uncomfortability in herself, in her family. So yeah, understanding and learning from you about how to like really connect to the present moment. And also because you're so present in the scene, there's no room for anything else. Like you just have to, like, we have to meet each other there.
I literally feel the same way about you. No, I love Angourie so much. I mean, there's so many things I have learned from her and taken from her because she is a pro and she has been doing this for so long. And so I was just really watching her every time she would step onto set. She came with such confidence and curiosity and intelligence because she's so intelligent. Like she's very sharp and you know how to ask the right questions. And I think she would be asking me questions, and that's such a beautiful thing because not everyone is down to work outside of being on set, you know. Fair enough. I mean, it's, you know, we're working long hours, but Angourie was always, you know, messaging me and being like, hey, do you want to talk about the scene? Which I love. It makes me feel like I'm back in school and I can really put my head with someone and have a foundation of understanding of how we're both going to tell this story together. So yeah, I would just say like her curiosity and her intelligence.
That collaboration pays off big time. I mean that sincerely. I have to wind down with you all in a moment. You know, I warned you. I have 2 orders of business right now. I am not capable of sitting down with anybody affiliated with Trick or Treat and not asking at least a question or two. I'll give you like a broad basic one to start here. When you think about that movie, what is the very first memory from making it that pops into your brain? The thing that feels like an anchor to that experience for you?
For me, that would be 2 things. One was when I auditioned, I had no idea what the twist was. So I went for my first costume fitting and they were like, so when the costume starts to rip off and all of the prosthetics are put on, and I was like, wait, what are you talking about? And then I found out what my character actually was in the costume fitting. And then also it would be the contact lenses. I've never had to wear, thank God, contact lenses that big in my life, but you literally couldn't blink. You had to have someone just there with you putting drops in your eyes every 10, 15 minutes. Yeah.
I wear contact lenses, but I know those are no joke.
Yeah.
My other question for you, because I will never stop rooting for another chapter to that story. If I gave you the power of the pen and you could write Danielle and Co's next chapter, what would you want to focus on and why?
I feel like it's the 3. I mean, it's the girls for sure. That's the story.
Where are
It's
they
the
going
werewolves.
next?
Yeah, where are they going next? And where's the next party?
All right.
Yeah.
I want to see every single party forever and ever. I will always try to manifest what I want on these stages. So that's the particular thing I would like to see happen. Another thing I would like to see happen is for all of you to play our little game today. So at the studio this year, we are passing notes. So like kind of think back in high school when you were passing notes in class, and we're passing them from film to film. So you received a note from the team behind Good Boy. They put you on the spot a little. I will let you do this too. You can get away with this. So someone read it.
I just got full body chills. You better steal something from in here, from Good Boy.
Everyone's
like from this room, we have to steal something.
Everyone's
from
distracted. What do you want?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Grab a
Get a bottle. Get a bottle.
grab a bottle
Right
from
answer,
Perri
isn't
on the
it?
way out.
I don't know.
There you go.
Maybe that candle.
I think that's fair.
battery-operated candle.
Run away with a
Yeah, but you
Campari
can't say
pillow.
what you're gonna steal. You have to steal it and then like do a reveal later.
Okay. All right. Well, I expect to follow up about this, but now I need to pass this honor to all of you as well. Anyone can write one. You could all do a group one, but you have to pass a note to the next interview, which is, it's Left-Handed Girl. I love this movie so much. We got it.
My best.
The journey will continue. I'm going to say huge congratulations on Steal Away, and thank you so much for being here and sharing some of your experience with us.
Thank you
so
so
much.
much.
Thank you.
Congrats.